And I think that's a code that says deep down I'm really special inside. And if you go to all the commencement addresses, it's trust yourself, be true to yourself, you're special, you're special. But the people, I think, who have great character don't believe that. They believe we're divided, that we have parts we're splendidly endowed, but parts we're deeply broken, and we have sins. And a lot of the people would look at themselves and say, what's my core sin?
Yeah, you write about our core sins.
Yeah, so,
we all have core sins. We struggle with core sins.
Whether it's vanity, ego, selfishness, self-centeredness, whatever it is. And then they ask, well, what does that behavior does that lead to that I'm not proud of? And you can work on it. They confront themselves.
So is that why we're here, to work on our core sins? What do you think the reason for us being here is? What are we all doing, all of us humans?
I think we all have a moral imagination. We want to not lead a life just of good experiences, but a life of meaning. And we're willing to give up some happiness for some holiness, whether you're religious or not. People are willing to endure suffering for something they really believe in. And I found that's true among the richest and among the poorest. Everybody wants to have a life where they say, my life has meant something, and it's been a good life, and I've gotten better at it. I've fulfilled myself a little more as I got older. And so, we spend a lot of time in our culture talking about happiness. But if you're defining happiness just having good experiences, I don't think that's enough. If you ask anybody, what's the activity that you had that made you who you are? No one says, I had a really great vacation in Hawaii. No one says that. They say, I had a period of struggle. I lost a loved one. I was in the army, something. And that period of struggle or that period of toughness made me who I am.
And quite often, though, it's also when you are extending yourself in kindness or grace to somebody else, too. Yeah. Living through somebody else through compassion or empathy.
And so often those things are connected that you see people suffering, and then they turn that suffering into a service. And so I have a great quote there I like by a guy named Tillich, who said that what suffering does is it takes us below the everydayness of life and reminds us we're not who we think we are. It carves beneath what we thought was the basement of our soul and carves through the floor and reveals a cavity below. So it really introduces us to ourselves. When you're in those moments of suffering, it gives you empathy because you sympathize with the others. But then you want to turn that moment into a story that will lead to service.
Super Soulers,